Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I am so excited to bring you my first guide for Infinity Ultron World Boss Legend. This is a brand new World Boss Legend. This is the highest difficulty endgame PvE content we have in Marvel Future Fight, and it is an insanely highly accurate and highly cool recreation of the Infinity Ultron battle from the Disney Plus What If animated series. And if you haven't seen that, please go and watch it, because the game is so much cooler having introduced this, and I feel so lucky, not just as a content creator, as a player, as a gamer, that I can watch something like this on TV and then I can get such a faithful adaptation of it into my favorite mobile game. I'm not saying that as a YouTuber, like, I'm genuinely saying that as a fan, because it's crazy how good of a job the devs did to faithfully capture and port that fight and that sort of design, that character design, into the game. It's so cool, so much fun. And the best part is, even if you're not the biggest fan of the animated series and those episodes, if you're just a big fan of gaming, this is such a fun fight from a technical point of view. There are 6 unique Infinity Stone attacks to memorize, and sure, you're gonna need a pretty beefy build on your characters to get through this content, but you don't need a whale account to beat this content. Players with less than 8% Pierce are already beating this content less than a week into its arrival. So I'm so excited to get into the nitty-gritty of all of this with you today. This won't be, because it's just too much information, this won't be an exhaustive guide here, but I will do my best to give you everything you need and equip you to really conquer this boss and slam it with your roster. So what is Infinity Ultron World Boss Legend? Like I said, it's a brand new World Boss Legend, and this comes after Null and Mephisto, but it suspiciously comes without a new character or a new uniform, and that's really where there's a lot of hype and anticipation from the players. We're hoping to see either a brand new character, a native tier 3 Infinity Ultron that we can build up maybe next month, maybe the month after, or a brand new uniform for the existing Ultron to make him into an Infinity Stone wielding god. So very exciting stuff here, but there's already a bunch of reasons why you should be playing this boss if you haven't already, or if you haven't unlocked him, you should be taking the steps to unlocking this boss. So let's get into that. Why should you play Infinity Ultron, besides it being super cool and super fun and your favorite YouTubers playing it as well? Well, here's the thing. The rewards are already as good, or actually a little bit better, than Null and Mephisto, and those two games, those two bosses, represent basically the best rewards in the game for your investment, as far as tier 3 materials go, as far as other materials go, the chance to get rare CTPs and stuff like that, the whole shebang. Because on top of all of that, on top of all of those rewards you get from Null and Mephisto, which are the same in Infinity Ultron, you're also going to get, for clearing stage 1 the first time, you get a free icon forever. So a cool way to flex in-game that you beat Infinity Ultron is to be Infinity Ultron. On top of that, every time you beat a 10th stage, going up by 10s, you will get an artifact for Ultron that you can equip to make your Ultron stronger. So for stage 10, 20, and 30, you get a 4-star artifact. For 40, 50, and 60, you get a 5-star artifact. And then for 70, 80, and 90, however far away that is, you get a 6-star artifact. So we have a total of 9 artifacts that you can farm for free from this game mode. So really, really nice stuff. Basically the best rewards, in my opinion, in the game. And I love the fact that the rewards scale up and get better as you get stronger and as you are able to conquer more and more of it. And as you can see, all the conquer level rewards are the same from Null and Mephisto, so you're not missing out on a thing. The only thing to keep in mind is the unlock requirements for Infinity Ultron. You have to beat Null 5 times and beat Mephisto 5 times in order to unlock Infinity Ultron. So keep that in mind. Go through the steps to unlock Null and Mephisto by going through the other World Boss Ultimates, and then Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Cable, and Apocalypse. And then sooner than you think, you'll get to Infinity Ultron, you'll watch this video, and then you'll go and you'll smash that tin can. And by the way, although this is very hard content for me, and I have 22% Pierce, and I've been playing for 6.5 years, and I have this, stacked account, like I said, there are already people with less than 8% Pierce. Mattery on the Discord server and the live streams already beat the stage twice. He beat stage 1 twice with 2 different teams, and he only has, I believe, 6% Pierce, which is awesome. And then we have a forum user. I didn't check, I didn't verify the authenticity of these claims, but I'm going to trust the MFF community that they're not lying or sort of, bending the truth here. For all time, this player here cleared with 4% Pierce, a measly 4% Pierce, which is crazy crazy low, very humble cards here, was able to clear it twice with some very free-to-play friendly teams, including Loki, Human Torch, Hela, and then Cersei, Cable, Star-Lord. There is a bit of, mighty or brilliant CTP action going on for 2 of the characters, Hela on one clear and Cable on the other, but the player is very transparent about who did the damage, who did the carrying, and yeah, I'm really proud of the community that they're able to clear this kind of content, this very difficult content, without having a jumbo XL maxed out whale account. So how are they doing it? Obviously, you got to bring in tier 3 characters or transcended characters. Obviously, you got to bring in a good team. It also helps to bring in some ignore dodge, or either from strikers or from the team up or from the support buffs. Also, it helps if you have good builds on your characters for sure. But now let's get into the actual nitty-gritty strategy, because the thing that you need the most for Ultron, for Infinity Ultron World Boss Legend, is patience. So why did I say you needed a lot of patience for Infinity Ultron World Boss Legend? Well, just like in the show, he's got 6 Infinity Stones and he's trying to destroy all life in the multiverse. And just like in the show, he's going to use those stones if you don't stop him. So how do you stop him? Well, on top of having to reduce his HP, that big bar at the top, down to 0 in 5 minutes, it's the same, task as all of the other World Boss Ultimates and World Boss Legends. You have an additional bar underneath for Ultron specifically, and that is his optimization bar. And you're going to hear a lot of players and content creators talk about, oh, you're dying during the optimization stage, or oh, you're letting him optimize, you're letting him get to optimization too quickly or too often. And that's what that bar is, and that's the main mechanic of this fight, because when Ultron is not hit by your attacks, he charges up optimization. So as you can see here, I'm hitting him and I'm actually reducing the bar. And the bar just reduces at a generic rate. It doesn't matter how much damage you're doing with your skills. As long as you're hitting him, whether it's for 1 damage or 1,000 damage, it's going to reduce the bar. But whenever you're interrupted, or whenever you fall asleep or you forget to attack him, he's going to charge up his optimization. And here's what happens when his optimization reaches 100%. He starts to use the Infinity Stones. And this is the main part of the fight. This is the most difficult and most fun part of the fight that you're going to need to memorize. So watch carefully. He's going to go through the 6 Infinity Stones, and you can see them down in the middle, the bottom middle of the screen. He's going to go through each of the stones in a random order. Each stone is assigned a specific attack, so it's not like the attacks will be random. When you see the green stone, he's always going to do 3 line strikes at you. When you see the sort of yellow stone, I believe, he does 6 of these like lava beams that will be underneath your feet. When he does the red stone, you'll see these spears falling from the sky and you have to run away. The blue stone, he will do these 3 sort of semicircle slashes, these lunar slashes that sort of, he tries to teleport behind you and slash you. And then for the last stone, it's like an orange color, he will teleport to one particular zone and there will be a ring of safety around him, not exactly on him, but around him. And then for the purple stone, he basically teleports again, and the whole screen is death except for right on him. So there's basically a lot of running around, a lot of dodging, and quite a bit of memorization, because you have to memorize all 6 of these attacks as the color corresponds, right? So you know you got to know what to happen when you see green. You got to know what to do, and you got to know what happens when you see red, right? And then the most beautiful part of all this is that in between the Infinity Stone attacks, you're going to do something special. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I want you to watch and see if you can figure out what I'm doing that's so special in between. So I'm doing the red one right now. He's dropping these spears, the reality stone, and I'm going to do something here. Okay, I failed to do it there. He's doing the purple attack. Okay, now he's going to do this one with the 6 beams. We'll get into more detail about exactly what I'm doing to maximize the value of these beams. Not the value of the beams, but like to maximize the value that I'm getting, sort of thing. But there you go. If you attack him 3 times, and if you interrupt him, each attack you do in between the Infinity Stone phases is going to interrupt and going to remove 1/3 of his optimization bar. And then you will be able to knock him out of optimization and return to the normal battle. And you're sort of very familiar with this battle here, where you're basically just doing damage to him and he's doing these sort of regular attacks. I'm not really focusing on these regular attacks like this star-shaped attack, because they're fairly straightforward. Now, I will say this, that sometimes you will see during the regular fight, so not during the optimization phase, but during the regular sort of normal Ultron phase, you'll see there's like a purple circle around him, and you'll see that he sort of rises up and points at you. That is when he's actually using one of the stones again. So it's kind of tricky, and it can be very difficult to see because of all the visual noise of the game and the animations. But you have to look out for, there's a purple circle, and there's also there's actually an audio cue. There is an audio cue. It's hard to catch, and a lot of people play without sound, but yeah. So he's using a stone right now, and then, or did he not use a stone? I guess he wasn't using a stone. I'll show you guys. I'll show you in a second here. There we go. He just pointed at me, and now he's using the green. He's using the time stone, and he's doing that same attack again. So you saw that there. So he does sometimes use the stones outside of the optimization phase, but you basically need to just keep track of that while you're also keeping track of this. So now I want to show you what happens if you dodge all 6 of the stones, but you don't actually interrupt his optimization, because maybe you're really good at dodging, but you're not really sure what I'm doing in between. So I'm going to show you guys here. I'm going to dodge all 6 of the stones, and he goes through all 6 of them. I hate this one the most, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing here to dodge it. But if you don't stop him, right? If you dodge, but if you play good defense, but you don't play good offense, here's what happens. You fail to stop him, and you freeze anyways, you time freeze anyways, and then he kills you. So you can't just dodge the attacks. I'm actually going to survive here because of Wolverine's artifact. So just an FYI, you can have a bit of extra value from PvP to PvE if you bring in Hela or Mr. Sinister or Wolverine or Null because of their immortality artifact or passives. You have to have the artifacts for Wolverine, Hela, and Mr. Sinister, and you just have to have Null built up. You don't have to have the 6-star version of the artifact. The 3-star version is fine, but it does add some additional value for PvP, for PvE for those characters that was otherwise basically only for PvP. So it's really nice. It generally doesn't mean too much for Wolverine because he's not that amazing for PvE. Well, actually, he's not that bad. It's great for all of them. Never mind what I said about Wolverine. Anywho, the point I'm trying to make is you can sort of get away with a little bit of cheeky stuff, and I'll show you a few more tips a little bit later for what you can do during that final sort of snap when he gets all 6 stones off. But basically, that's what happens, and I don't know if you caught it, but there was something that I was doing in between the stone phases to interrupt him, and so I'll let him optimize now so I can show you one more time. And basically, I was blown away when I realized this, because this is the first and possibly only time in MFF history that this has been true. The auto attack function is actually vital. Vital. It is crucial that you use the auto attack button in World Boss Legend Infinity Ultron. And I'm not joking, I'm not memeing. Yes, because you need to hit him to stop the optimization process in between the Infinity Stones. But all of your attacks have too long of an animation. There's too much of a wind-up. So the auto attack is actually perfect for this, because for most characters, their auto attack is very, very short and very, very simple. So I'm actually ending, when I run away from him, if you notice, I might start far away from him, but I always try to end my run close to him, and then I auto attack him. And if you auto attack him 3 times, it doesn't have to be specifically on the first 3 stones, but you want to do it as fast as possible because you're running out of time, right? You auto attack him in between the stone phases. You have a very small window of opportunity. You can use skills, but I don't recommend practicing like that because most characters' skills just take too long to wind up. You're literally talking about like half of a second. So like Thena's second skill is good enough to use, but there's very few characters that have skills that are fast enough that you can get away with it, because not only does the skill need to be fast enough to hit him, but the skill needs to end fast enough for you to run away. Because like I say, if I start Wolverine's 5th skill, sure, I start hitting him, that's fine. But if it's not the 3rd hit, he's going to go into his next Infinity Stone, and I'm going to still be stuck in my animation, and then he's going to kill me. Because if you get hit by any attack from those stones, you're dead. He time freezes you, and then he snaps you. So you got to auto attack him. I'm serious. You got to auto attack him 3 times. That will successfully stop him, and then you're free to deal damage and continue the fight in the regular arena without the stones to sort of help Ultron. You get sort of like a powered down version of Ultron, not quite the Infinity version of Ultron that's going to defeat you. So yeah, it's very, very cool, but I want to sort of restart this and show you what it looks like, because there's a few more attacks that he does when you get him down. We do a little bit more damage to him, but Wolverine's kind of having a hard time. So when you bring a stronger team like this Makari team that I have, you're going to encounter more of the mechanics of the fight. So I want to show you guys the remaining mechanics. They basically revolve around preset amounts of HP that Infinity Ultron is going to have when you knock him down. So sort of like how Thanos has his mid HP fight switch where he gets debuff immunity and things like that. Ultron has similar abilities. So when you get him down to about 13 bars, it's a little bit less than half of his HP. He's going to do sort of, it's called Energy from Another Dimension. It's a pretty annoying ability, and he actually has 2 variations on it. So here he goes, he's doing it. I believe he's doing it, or we're doing optimization. Yeah, Energy from Another Dimension. So it's actually, sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later. Again, for me, it usually on average, it's at about 15, it's half his HP, 15 bars. Sometimes it's 18 bars, sometimes it's 13 bars. It really does fluctuate a little bit. But when you see the Energy from Another Dimension, when the camera shifts, you want to stay in the middle of the arena. Keep in mind that Ultron, even though he's invisible, his character model is still there. So sometimes you'll bump into him and you'll realize you're moving the joystick and your character's not moving. He's actually still there. So you sort of have to sort of avoid him. But basically the pattern is quite straightforward. It's a counterclockwise, it's a counterclockwise square. I didn't do a really good job there, but it's a counterclockwise square. That's the first one, and you're going to need to practice it for sure. I didn't do the best job of explaining it before I showed it to you, but that is the first time he'll do that ability. And then when you lower his HP to 8 bars, just about half 8, he's going to put up an invincibility bubble. You can see the invincibility shield right there, and the invincibility shield is going to stop damage for a few seconds. That can allow him to optimize, so you do have to play around that, because let's say the optimization bar is nearly full and you're at 9 bars, you might as well push him to 8 bars, activate the invincibility, and let him optimize, because if you sort of play passively and try to wait it out, then you might end up losing too much time and losing the match altogether. But anyways, at 8 bars, as you saw, he puts up the invincibility to stop you from one-shotting him, and then right after that, there'll be the cutscene that you just saw, and then he's going to do the Energy from Another Dimension again. However, this time he does it twice, so don't get caught off guard. The first time will be the same as before. You still have to dodge these other mechanics, but you're going to want to stay in the middle, and you're going to want to do a counterclockwise. Okay, she just died. It was supposed to be, I think, no, sorry, this one is a clockwise square. Ah, yeah, clockwise square, that's right. So counterclockwise square. The counterclockwise square for the first extra dimensional energy when he's at about 14, 15 bars. And then for the second one at 8 bars, you do a clockwise, you sort of run in a clockwise square. So counterclockwise square and a clockwise square around the middle. That's, in my opinion, the easiest way for me to memorize to dodge it. But you may have your own strategy that you use to dodge it, but it just takes practice. Then, once you get out of that second energy attack, then we start sort of the rolling optimization phases. So it prompts you and it says you can no longer stop Ultron. And now basically what's going to happen is he's going to auto optimize, use the Infinity Stones, and then you have to just dodge them, interrupt him, punish him, and then rinse and repeat. So even though I lost Makari, I'll show you guys what this looks like. I'm going to auto attack him right at the beginning. He's going to have this unskippable cutscene. I'm going to auto attack him to get that first third of the bar down. We're going to run over here again, auto attack him again to get the second third down. For this specific attack, I like to bunch them up in one of the corners, so I don't have to worry about them being all over the map. And then if you attack him 3 times, as you guys know, you will interrupt the optimization. You successfully stopped him, and now you can let him have it and batter him with damage. Now, ideally, I'd be doing more damage than this with Wave, but it doesn't really matter, because I want to show you that once you get below 8 bars, the fight gets really difficult because he will just continue to optimize. So you have to practice dodging those Infinity Stone maneuvers, because unless you one-shot him in between the 8-bar invincibility, energy, and then cutscene, there's like a couple of seconds of gap there. If you don't one-shot him there and you don't one-shot him after the first optimization interruption, then you're just going to have to continue interrupting him. So it's not a mechanic you can avoid. It's something that you're going to have to learn how to play against. And I actually really like that. I love this, this skill-based mechanic. So yeah, and I love the fact that you have to auto-attack. It's actually crazy. So wild. Okay, he's going to do this one here. And that's why, for this attack, that's why I like to put those beams in the corner. Because otherwise, if you just run around haphazardly with that those orange beams, then they can get in your way when you're dodging other attacks. So the best way is to just, either run in a straight line. I can show you guys again. You just run in a straight line like this, or put them in a corner so that you don't have to worry about them, so that you can freely dodge. Because the red attack and the green attack and the blue attack are really hard to dodge otherwise. So you want to make sure that you don't put those beams somewhere important. So here, he's going to do the beams again, and I just sort of run in a line. And it's just the last one where I beeline for him. It's just the last one where you have to beeline for him in order to interrupt him, that you would then sort of break that rule. But yeah, this is basically the fight. You got to master those 6 Infinity Stone dodging attacks. The only one that I haven't really shown you guys yet in depth and to really explain how to dodge it is the blue one. So I'm hoping that he does the blue one here so I can show you. But basically the strategy for the blue one is stay in the middle of the arena. Actually, I can just show you by not attacking him. So the blue one, the Space Stone, in my opinion, is the hardest. I like to just stay in the middle. Stay in the middle and don't move until he's attacked you. And then you're always, for the blue one, you're always just looking for the shortest distance to get out of the attack. It's so hard. Some people will tell you to run behind him, but personally, for the green one, you want to just be far away from him, and then you want to just run, you know, in a curve at the last second, right? But for the blue one, some people will say to try to run behind him. That doesn't always work. So I don't recommend running behind him. I recommend position yourself in the middle of the arena, and then just as soon as he appears with that crescent-shaped attack, just run in the opposite direction. Like run out of his way as fast as you can. Here we're going to show this one again. Just want to show you guys more and more of these so you guys can get a feel for it. 3 of the attacks are pretty easy to dodge, and the other 3 are just a big pain. So yeah, again, I'm just going to, even though White Fox is really slow, I'm not, see? I'm just moving simply. I'm just making simple movements, and I'm not overcomplicating it by trying to find out where he is and find out, you know, behind him, blah, blah, blah. And there we got paralyzed. One last tip, one final crucial tip here. If you can time it well enough, and you got to be really sharp with your timing, you can interrupt the Infinity Stone snap when he gets all 6 stones after time freezing you with the co-op skill. Let me show you. And then we get down to this phase here, and you can actually, as you can see, you can actually one-shot him. However, let's say you don't one-shot him, and let's say you get hit by the first attack. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna lose, Makari's gonna die. Just time it, time the co-op skill very well. You have to have strikers. And then as soon as you see all 6 stones, press the co-op skill, and it doesn't always work. I think I was a little bit early, but a lot of players have reported this, so I do want to confirm it, and I have actually used it myself. It feels a little bit dirty. The devs might patch it out because it may be an unintended bug. But yes, if you press the co-op skill just as the 6 stones light up, all 6 of the stones, for him to kill your character should survive. But it takes a lot of timing. It's similar to the null co-op skill when he's attacking you in the 7-bar animation thing, but it's a little bit trickier and it's a little bit more precise. But yes, those are all the tips that I have for you for now, but I will be doing a follow-up video ranking specific characters, specific auto attacks, and that sort of thing to give you guys even more in-depth tips. But I'm sure that with the guides and sort of the in-game play footage that I've shown you, you can use that to sort of decipher and figure out this character is going to be good, this character is not going to be good, and sort of deduce from there, and then, you know, set up your characters and set up your teams to sort of take advantage of the strategies and, you know, those strengths of different characters, like being able to move really fast or having like a really good auto attack, so you can switch and take advantage of them at different moments of the fight so that you can conquer Infinity Ultron, get that sweet icon, and maybe a lot more. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video and if it helped you out, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.